Welcome students, welcome to the channel. In context of historical development of Indian education up till now, we see post-Vedic period, or we can say the Buddha period. And before going to the British period of Indian education, we have to go through these terminologies because these words are more frequently used in British time period Indian education. So for the better understanding, we have to go through these words. So before starting the terminology, it's essential to know that why we have to go through these terminologies, what are the beneficial of getting these words. So for this it can be said that if we come through these terminologies, we have better understanding of British historical scenario. And secondly, we can say that by gaining these words, we have a right perspective of educational development. In other words, we can say that how education gets development at that time period can be correctly understood by us through these terminologies, by knowing these terminologies. Thirdly, to know the motive and the aim of British education. So at that time period, what they think about the Indian scenario, what they do with the Indian education system, what are the aims, what are their perspectives, should be clearly, all these things are clearly understood by us when we go through these terminologies. Next, to obtain a critical viewpoint of the education. In other words, we can say that if we wants to develop a critical viewpoint about Indian education system, we have to obtain these terminologies. And lastly, this knowledge means these words. This knowledge enables students to compare the present education scenario with the British time period educations, which means if we understand these popular words, we can compare the past different scenarios. For example, we can compare the British Indian education with the Vedic period, or we can compare with the post-Vedic period with the British education. So comparison become more easy when we go through these terminologies. Okay, first one is this difference between dispatch and minute. So dispatch and minute are the more popular words which frequently comes in the historical perspective of British Indian education system. So first we take minute. Minute is a small or a brief official document whenever a small meeting is held and all the members agreed on a specific topic, and they sign that topic with the agreement of the chairman. It becomes a minute, and it was passed by the members as well as the chairperson, and it's a official written document on a particular topic or on a particular meeting. So minute has less power, or the area of the minute is small, whereas the dispatch has a broad area. It is an official document by a state or a military. It's a lengthy document, or we can say a lengthy article, and dispatch has to be implemented, which means that it cannot be put as it is. It should be implemented on a practical ground, or every person of that particular state has to follow that dispatch. Whatever agreement was passed in this dispatch has to be followed by every person of that state. So when we compare both of these, we found that dispatch is more powerful, more broader area, and more large in comparison of the minute. let's move further. Next one is Magna Carta. So second terminology is Magna Carta. So basically Magna Carta is a Latin word which means a great charter for of the liberties. So it's a charter, and it was first used in 1215 in the time period of King John in the England. So it was a first document which says that a single person or a British person can go against the wishes of a king. Earlier it was not to be possible. Everything which was said by the king, whether it's wrong or whether it's right, should be followed by the human beings of the England. But after the Magna Carta, the scenario was changed. Now this Magna Carta guaranteed that the one individual can go against the wishes of a king. This Magna Carta established the principle that the people of England could limit the power of the king if he was doing things that were not good for the country. So in this case, if a particular king was against the law or against the humanity, one individual, one citizen of that country can go against the king. So in education, we use Wood Dispatch as a Magna Carta of Indian education. Why we use that? Why we said that Wood Dispatch was a Magna Carta of Indian education? Because it provides a huge platform for the development and growth for the Indian education system. So likewise, the Charter of 1215 provides the power against standing against the will of the king. In the same way, Magna Carta of Wood Dispatch, in the same way, Wood Dispatch is called the Magna Carta because it provides Indian education to flourish, to get development. So it's called Wood Dispatch is called the Magna Carta of Indian education system. And the last terminology is the stagnation and wastage. These are the more popular words used in Indian education system. Stagnation, basically stagnation is a situation in which a liquid or a thing does not move or does not flow. And when we talk this stagnation in the education, in context of education, it is related with the retention of a child in the same class for a long period, or we can say for more than 1 year. Or in other words, we can say when a child cannot pass a particular class for many years, this is called stagnation. और second है हमारा wastage. Wastage is that when the primary level of education was taken by the child, and then afterwards he or she stop taking education, and that's why maybe for any reason he or she removed from the school by the family, that at that time the primary education was not so much useful. So it is called wastage, because all things which he or she learned up till now was ruined, come to an end, as he was not using them for the development of the society or himself. That's why it's called wastage. So we have two words, wastage and stagnation. Stagnation means not clearing in the particular class, again and again failing a particular class, and wastage is taking the one level of education, 1 to 5 he or she takes the education, and after that he leave the school forever. So this is called wastage. So friends, these are the few terminology words which are going to be more useful or beneficial when you are going to read the British Indian education development. Thanks for watching. Keep watching. Thank you.